Hey guys, I thought I would make a short video about my experience at the New York Travel and Adventure Show. This is one of the largest travel conventions in the United States. This is actually just one of many locations they go to, but this one was on January 27th and January 28th at the Javits Center in New York City. Now, along with the fact that so many countries and even states in our own country were represented at this travel convention, I mainly wanted to go to hear some of the speakers that were at this convention. The most notable in my mind was Rick Steves, who everyone knows is one of the travel OG television shows from back in the thousands with Rick Steves Europe. A couple other notable speakers that I saw were Peter Greenberg from 60 Minutes. He did a little Q&A. I believe Phil Rosenthal was there on the main stage, but I didn't get a chance to hear him speak. I was kind of occupied with hearing other speakers, and I saw one a bit of a surprise appearance from Augusto Valverde, who I believe does Global Child over on Peacock. He did a whole scuba diving thing, which you'll see a sign for in the video right now. uh, there were several people advertising scuba diving groups and people to get the PADI license. I thought that was pretty cool. As you can see, there's a bunch of different booths here. And I think so far you would see some from maybe some controversial destinations. You just saw an Israel one. But I believe most of the ones we passed through so far were actually some states in the United States, as well as the scuba diving stuff I mentioned before. As far as the US booths, there actually was a booth from New Jersey, which is the next state over from where this took place, as well as Delaware. I thought the New Hampshire booth was pretty cool. I was kicking it with the representatives there, kind of commenting on their state motto, which I love. As far as the US booths, I thought the best one was Alaska by far because there was some very good information I got over there. I'm mainly interested in going dog sledding there one day. So there was a guide there that didn't even work for the booth that just had a lot of fascination with Alaska. And he directed me to the woman working at the booth. I want to give a shout out to that booth in particular for giving me a lot of detailed information about when's the best time to go dog sledding, where should I go. I think they mainly gave me tips from Anchorage. And as you can see in the video, kind of relating to that, other good destinations to go to, Iceland, very great one for snowmobiling that I love. And going through here, you could see some of the European destinations. I believe you see in Croatia now. We just passed Iceland and Montenegro. I believe this convention did a great job of representing like different countries from all over the world. I saw a lot of I saw basically every continent get touched, or every corner of the world get touched, from Europe to South America and Asia and Africa, which you'll see later in the video, as well as parts of the United States and the Mexico and the Caribbean, and even all parts of the world that no one ever touches. Which I saw one for Svalbard, and Antarctica actually had their own speaker that I listened to during the show. I believe during the time Phil Rosenthal was speaking, I was over checking out the Antarctica speaker. That's another thing. There were like five different stages here for speakers, which unfortunately I didn't get on camera, and perhaps I should have. Um, there were a lot of speakers presenting good information, some unique expeditions to and cruises to Antarctica. I believe there was one about how to be a travel influencer by some woman that mainly does stuff in New York. And I mentioned the guy, Augusto Valverde, was doing a scuba diving one. And I think there was a guy doing one on one of the side stages that was mainly about how to pack. And tr- there was one travel expert, I would say, that was like a credit card girl. She was telling people how to get points and to save money and budget accordingly. I thought this was all good information, especially people that were not quite too experienced in traveling. And don't get me wrong, I picked up some good tips myself. And as you can see in the video, we're getting to other parts of the section now. So we're we're getting to other sections. You just saw Japan, saw other parts of the United States. I think we passed the Busch Gardens one before. and we saw Bonaire. I didn't really spend a lot of time at those booths, honestly. Antigua is a little out of my price range at the moment, so I didn't really spend a ton of time at every single one of these booths. I mean, I tried to touch on like every corner of the world, but I obviously could not get to, every single one of these booths. But I said the best one from the United States. Um, we're getting to more experiences, I would say, than countries with this part. You see a Belize one there. I didn't really spend a lot of time at that one. And I think this is like the Caribbean section area heading back into Europe. I did spend some time at that Poland booth a little bit. They did some group organized tours. I tried to find some information about Krakow because I am interested in going there. He gave me the guy you see in the video did give me some tips on that and um, some of the best cities to check out in Poland in general. In terms of the European moves, I thought the best one was Croatia. I I feel like Croatia did a great job marketing themselves in this convention, and also like the woman there, I could tell English was her second language, but she gave me a nice hidden gem recommendation from some small, I think it was a very small island right by Dubrovnik. And as you can see, the main stage here, this is where Rick Steves and Phil Rosenthal spoke. Those were the two main headliners, I would say, but there were several other speakers on the side stages. As you can see, it was a pretty packed event for the main speakers, though. This is the Croatia and Greece booths. I was talking about Croatia before. You're gonna see some of the other side quests. I wish I would have spent more time at the Galapagos booth because that one is another destination I'm trying to check out. We're gonna go back into Southeast Asia a little bit down below. But first, let's pass by Argentina and Chile. I did check out that booth, but honestly, they gave me like no information, and that's a shame because I really do want to find out a little more about those countries. A couple of vloggers I know have recently checked out those two countries, and some friends of mine have really highly recommended it. I did not think the Argentina Chile booth was great for getting information for someone relatively inexperienced like me. This is the Georgia booth you're looking at now. That was another great one, I thought, and definitely put it on the map for me. I mainly know Georgia is a great visa destination for like to camp out as a base for digital nomads. And we passed by before the Malaysia booth. I thought that one had some good information at it because I was joking around with the woman there that I've really only been there for a layover at Kuala Lumpur. This is the Philippines booth, by the way, which I tried to get a lot of deep information on that country because I'm actually heading to the Philippines pretty soon. And I did not think the Philippines booths, they actually had two, but I did not think the Philippines booth had a lot of great information. Unfortunately, sometimes you don't get a lot of deep information when it comes to that booth. Anyway, we're heading into the last stretch here. We're gonna get to some of the African countries here. I did try to have a deeper discussion about Rwanda because, unfortunately, I know I was first familiar with the country for kind of unfortunate reasons back what happened in the 90s. So it's hard to kind of transition for me to like other aspects of the country and not bring that up because that's really what I know it for. But and getting to a lighter note, most of these are safari activity things. I felt like that was most of the boobs from African countries were relating to safaris. And I feel like that's the problem with America a little bit. We kind of just mainly highlight the safari aspect of Africa, which is cool, but I would like to dive a little deeper. Um, I thought the best booth in this section was from actually the woman you're about to see on the right. She represented a safari tour group that mainly does Kenya and Tanzania stuff. She gave me a list of packages that were available, and I feel like I would have to do a package of some sort if I were to ever do it. She kind of put a Kenya one on my radar because it's actually a little more affordable. On the right, sorry, not on the right. At the end here, you'll see a little stage for musical performances. I don't think anyone was singing right now, but they had groups before over there. Overall, I thought this was a very nice convention. Definitely worth killing 6 hours. Combined with the speakers and the vast amount of booths that you see, you could definitely find a lot of good information here. If you're someone that, like me, that wants to dive more into the travel community in general and just see where current trends are going, or even hear certain speakers for people you idolize, or if you're just like a traveler that's like, I would say this was not a beginner thing. This is more like people who are experienced but want a little more convenience or want to find out more of their options. I think it's good for stuff like that. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and thanks for watching. Bye.